What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Rhomas Men's Team. Pretty simple. We are a group of guys helping each other make progress towards each other's goals. If you're new to the channel, awesome and welcome. If you want to help support the channel and join our pro team, head over to romasteam.com/pro, where you can contribute to us on a donation basis. We also give you access to exclusive content, mastermind groups, etc., etc. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you on the team. What is up, dudes? I am Mr. McCusker today. He is running around for his wedding stuff, I believe. I think that's what he told me this morning. He just got back to me, I think like 2 days. His wedding is in about 30 days. And he calls me and he's like, hey, Brittany wants me to... He's like, she wants all of our suits to be matching and our ties to be matching the woman's, the bridesmaids' dresses. And I was like, he's like, isn't that such bullshit? I was like, yeah. I was like, that's actually pretty normal. And he's like, what? Is he serious? And I said, yeah. And he's like, all right, so I guess we should get matching suits. So anyway, we're trying to figure this out kind of last minute to how to coordinate all of the men in his wedding party, his groomsmen, to be able to get matching suits. So anyway, he's off on that task. And I'm trying to help where I can. So anyway, what's up, dudes? If anybody wants to come on, let me know. I would love to have any of you on. Ray, I think you said you wanted to come on. Big Ray was actually, he came over to my house in California. It was awesome seeing him, and he bought my old car. And yeah, so Delco Jim, I'm seeing that you'll come on. Let me invite you here, brother. I'm not the best at this. I always have to take a minute to figure out how. I think I know how, though. All right. DJ, I just invited you, brother. If anybody else wants to come on, let me know. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about as well. What is up, Beast?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Oh, I cannot hear you. Oh, now I can. Oh, gotcha.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you been?
Dude, I had a great week.
Let's hear about it, brother.
I got a new job.
Hell yeah, what's that?
I work at PNC Bank now.
Awesome.
Full time, so I get to leave my other job.
Better than Starbucks.
Perfect timing because all my stocks here just became vested, so I could cash them out.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Little bonus going in. I have to get a whole new wardrobe though. I have to go suit shopping.
Oh, okay. Can I throw some options out there for you?
Yeah, sure.
Where were you thinking about going shopping for suits?
There's this place, Joseph A. Bank is like right near my house, and they always have really good deals going on. They usually have stuff that fits me.
Yeah, that's not a bad option at all. That's one of the places I would definitely recommend. Like depending on the budget. Yeah, Joseph A. Bank always has like, buy one get 14 free.
Literally.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually think it's a good option. Another good option is H&M. Another good option is Zara.
It's always tough. It's always tough finding a place that has stuff that fits me.
Gotcha.
So like, I have my trusted sources or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I got this new job, and I went up to New York last week, and I did an audition for a residency at a club.
Nice, man.
And it went well. So I'm gonna be going up there and doing. They signed me for 6 weekend spots. Paid, get to do awesome. More material than I've ever done before.
Hell yeah.
It's fun.
It's a huge win.
I'm fucking, I'm killing it. I'm fucking, doing all sorts of shit. I'm all over the city, so it's, everything's coming together.
Wow, man. Okay, so that's the next. It's 6 weeks back to back.
I think it's two a month for 3 months.
Okay, well that's kind of nice. You get a little break in between.
Yeah,
because about 2.5 hour commute each way.
Yeah, so I take the train that's right near my house. It's walking distance, and then my cousin, she lives like 700 feet from the club.
Nice, man.
So I'm doing really
crash
good.
There?
Yeah, I crashed there on Saturday. It was great. It was easy. It was a good time.
So if you don't mind, walk us through that process, because I know we had you on a few weeks ago, and the conversation was like basically like, how do I do the politicking between these club owners? I think that's what you were saying, and how do I navigate
I was kind of like stressing about like like I'm awkward when it comes to like talking to dudes who basically hold my opportunities in their hand.
Sure.
And so I just decided, like, I don't know. After talking with Matt, I kind of was just like, fuck all that. Don't worry about any of that. So,
Yeah.
I made a mountain out of a molehill with that.
Yeah. Yep.
For sure. Because at the end of the day, these are just people who, at the end of the day, just want to make money.
Yep.
And I have to prove to them that I can do that. I can bring people in. So, just working really hard. I had, a blow up fight with my birth parents who came in contact with me. And
oh shit, man. How'd that go?
Well, they got wind that I went to New York and did like a show and was having a good time. So they were like, let's pop in and, knock him down a peg. But, fuck it. It doesn't faze me, It's just.
Hold on. Why would they?
Because they're crackhead people.
So what did, if you don't mind me asking, what did they do? Like when they said to knock you down?
So what happened was, like, I was just getting ready for work the other day and I got like a bunch of death threats. I like was checking my phone. I was like, oh, sick, word. And then it was just like, oh, it's just nonsense crackheads just fucking got bored and we're like, let's see what he's up to.
They were sending you death threats? Your birth parents were sending you death threats?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking about people who are like literally insane, like strung out drug addicts. So it's just like, weathering all that stuff is cool. I'm doing so much and I'm staying busy and like stuff like that doesn't even bother me anymore. It just rolls off my back. I used to come on here and like bitch about them, and now it's just like I don't even give a fuck. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all have those kind of demons or monsters in our past that maybe show up every once in a while. But that's actually what makes us stronger. At the same time, man, it's like, yeah, that fucking sucks. Right. Like, and not to give you a pity party and not to inspire a pity party on your side, but it's like, yeah, obviously it could be ideal, but use that as motivation so that one day, if you become a parent, don't send death threats to your kids. Right now, why it doesn't feel very good.
It's material. I used it. I was on stage last night and I started talking about it. Just, it's all about finding that lateral move. Yeah. Like, how do I turn this into something else? Just fucking spin it.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the guys who want to follow a similar trajectory, how did you ultimately end up getting the spots?
So I was doing it every night. I was in comedy every night and I was just stacking up clips and tightening up my material. And then it's just like, networking with people and, finding out, oh, like you do shows in New York. What's that like? Who runs that? And then I got put in contact with this guy and I was like, he's like, oh, your friend, will vouch. People, the people ask for, somebody to vouch for you. Right. And it's, so he gave me the spot and I went up there and I did it and it was great. It was only 5 minutes. It was a lot of, it was a whole production for 5 minutes of stage time, but
what is the normal?
So worth it.
Like what's the normal bit?
I would say like if you went and did like a spot on a show, like a book show, you'd probably get like 10 or 15 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I assumed it was around 10.
Yeah.
So you're halfway to like the normal.
Yeah.
And dude, the thing is, that's one of the reasons I love talking about stand-up comedy. Is it's very similar to life, right? Like it was very similar to anything. Think about the amount of minutes, hours, weeks, months, years that Michael Jordan practiced to then play an hour-long game.
Yeah.
It's always this balloon type of thing. It's an enormous amount of effort and practice, and then you get to show off the skills or test the skills in a very small microcosm of that overall population of hours. Pretty interesting. But that doesn't change.
It's cool. I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I want to try to make it my career. Yeah. I'm fully intend on being a full-time stand-up comic, and it's hard because I know a lot of comics that I've met. It's like, you don't know how many times I thought I was full-time and I fucking wasn't, and I had to go back to my job, but I'm not worried. I'm not putting like a time limit on myself. I'm not putting I'm not trying to box myself in. Things are like taking off. I'm starting to get paid to do it.
Yep.
You know, it's actually it's getting easier to do the more I do it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's definitely a snowball effect. Do you mind if I comment a few things on it just from my own experience?
Yeah.
So I had a few mentors tell me just at the right time. And dude, this one piece of advice, and advice is usually it's not teaching, it's just reminding. We already know a lot of the fundamentals, if not all the fundamentals. So the thing that I have found is the theme that kept on coming up over and over again is most people stop at the 1 yard line. They stop just before they're going to get the goal. But the problem is you don't know when the goal, like you can't see it right in front of you. You're kind of going blind. You only have headlights that go 3 feet into the distance, you know? So what I would say is, yes, it is just a matter of time. Like always remember that there's nothing special about the people who are up on stage, right? Like for you literally, but for everybody else figuratively, there's nothing special about them other than they just put in the reps. But every once in a while you have somebody who got lucky. Like you can imagine success being like a big, you know, what are those big like lottery ball tubs, you know, on the where they select a ping pong ball out of it, right? Well, let's say there's only a handful of ping pong balls in that group of 100 ping pong ball tub. And when you select one, you could get lucky the first time. But the reality is most people have to sit there and take out ping pong balls for the next year until they get the first red one, which is a win.
Right.
And then essentially you start to increase the ratio of those red ping pong balls to win. So literally, man, it is just a matter of putting in the reps. Like Ray was
it's just a grind. It's a second job.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, and I'm completely in love with it. You know, it's exhausting. I'm out late. I'm up early. Yep. You know, I'm fucking sleep deprived, and I've never been happier in my life. I have a purpose. You know, I don't even I can't even remember what my life was like before I did it.
Hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
It's just, you know, I don't know. It's I feel like me doing what I want to do is making everything that is going around in my life feel better.
Yeah, it's the top of the funnel. It's the thing that affects and impacts everything else. If you are spending 8 to 10 to 15 hours of your day doing something that you do not like, right? Or right, what Ray and I talked a lot about when he was out here this past week was sacrifice, right? Like you might, and that's what you're going through right now. You have to go through a period of sacrifice where, yes, you have to work at Starbucks for X amount of time, or you have to work at PNC Bank for X amount of time. But it's a way different thing than I'm doing this because I know it's a sacrifice for the greater thing. I'm sacrificing what I want now for what I want most. When it's that type of scenario, it's way easier. But if you're just working at Starbucks because there's no other options and you have no North Star goal, that's a nightmare for most people. Right? That's not called sacrifice. Oh yeah,
it super was, and it's just I'm at the point where it's like I put my notice in, and it's like I'm back to like enjoying being here. You know, because these people are my friends. You know, we spend I'm here 7 days a week. And it's
fuck, man, that's awesome. Yeah,
it's just, you know, it's a grind. But you know, I'm really, you know, I'm really enjoying, you know, everything, and it all seems to be coming together. I feel like I'm growing up a little bit.
Yeah.
In the past few months, like I've been tested pretty hard, you know, with my fucking face.
Yep.
Like completely not working for months. You know, it's just fucking what a crazy, you know, I'm 23. Everyone's calling it their Jordan year. You know, it's right. I don't know.
Do you think that there is, how do I say this? So I used to call things a grind as well. And now I try, and maybe that works for you. I found that for me, when I would label things as a grind, it would fatigue me a little bit. And then I had a mentor teach me, he's like, look, you don't, he says? He's like, change your O to an E. So you're saying, I got to do this. But instead, so that's more of like the grind mentality, like, oh, I've got to do this, versus saying, I get to do this, right? It turns it from I have to do this, I have to grind, versus like, holy shit, look at the opportunity I have, that I am actually given the blessing of I can at least play the game, whereas people in other countries or people in the past would not have even the ability to do that. Does that make sense? Like it changed it ever so slightly from something I have to do to something I get to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, maybe
it's
that
like changing the lens on it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I just feel like my whole it's all about grind time and keeping your head down and staying motivated and, you know, hustling and all that stuff. And for whatever reason, that just resonates with me.
No, definitely. If it works, stay with it, definitely. But for people who are listening,
you know,
maybe that doesn't work, you know.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I feel like I'm at the point where like I don't know how to take the next step in what I'm doing. Like right now, I'm just basically like taking every opportunity that comes my way. But like I've been getting like lucky like things like the job interview I had at the bank. The woman who interviewed me, she goes to Soul Joel's all the time with her husband.
Is that a comedy club?
And they were at a show that I was on the bill.
Nice.
And the dude knew who I was, and he follows me on Instagram. And that turned out.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so she's like, "Oh my god, he follows you on Instagram," and I was like, "Oh, great." I'm like, hired? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, like, but yeah. So they ended up giving me like a full-time spot, and now
awesome,
and it's a huge pay bump, and it's just gonna make everything way fucking easier, and I can because I have a sporadic schedule here that changes every week to week, day to day. I never have any consistency, and there's really nothing anybody like. I asked, I've been here for 3 years. I've been asking for like a set schedule for the entirety of that.
Right.
And it's just not something that's feasible. But now I have that.
Yeah. And that points to order and chaos, like Jordan Peterson always talks about. When we're young, especially as men, we kind of want things to be chaotic, right? It's fun. It's like playground style. Like I get to throw shit, I get to break shit, like all that stuff. But then eventually you learn when you set a North Star goal, like you have being, a full-time comedian, you need to have a certain amount of order in your life. So it creates the proper foundation that you can like jump from after that. So for a lot of guys who are in that period, right, like set your North Star goal and then figure out, because that will be chaotic enough. Right? That's what you're experiencing, right? Like there's enough chaos in trying to become successful at comedy. So that's going to take a lot of energy from you. So start to, like you're doing, right, create order in the other areas of your life. This is why it's so important to have, friends and whoever you can get around you that is stable, that they're not going to take your level away from you.
And I'm really excited that I think everyone is, in general has become more invested and interested in learning about stocks and everything and money managing. But I really want to turn this opportunity to work at the bank to, to be more fucking financially literate and learn about banking and learn about all that shit. And, because I don't know anything. I know that I should save money. That's what I know. I know that I should be, I put, money in my Robinhood and my 401k and all that stuff. And I just, like my friend, she works at a bank too. And she was like, oh, like, yeah, like working at the bank made it way easier for me to understand how money works and how, I can make changes. And, she gets to meet with a financial advisor who's just her friend. And she, what I mean?
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Well, dude, you are super on your way, buddy.
I'm trying.
Awesome to watch.
It's tough. It's, I don't know. It's, some days like I deal with the, depression and shit like that. And it's hard, to keep those animals at bay. And it's just, I find that for the longest time, I just did whatever I wanted to do. I got high all the time and fucking just, pushed everything away. And now I find that the busier I am, the easier everything I can handle. Like I do better when I'm juggling a bunch of things.
Yep.
Because I'm busy and my mind is active.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they say if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
Right.
Especially for men, like we are primarily hunters from evolutionary perspective. So we need a certain amount of momentum and movement throughout our lives. If we don't, then bad feelings start to set in. So it's fucking awesome, man. And then one comment that you said earlier, you're like, I don't know what to do next. I don't know where to go next. By the way, none of us do. You're like, I've been doing what I do.
That's the exciting part is that it's like, where does this go? Where does this lead? Matt McCusker, he just headlined Helium.
Awesome.
I was supposed to go to that. I had a ticket, but I got held up.
Yeah.
I was at work really late. But like he headlined Helium, and that's a club that basically Philly is a funnel. All the roads lead to getting on at Helium. That's the whole goal because that's the best club in the city.
Yeah.
And the last night, the general manager of the club saw my set and she saw me outside and was like, "Hey, great stuff. What's your Instagram? What's your social media?
Hell yeah,
Let's
man.
set something up." So
Awesome.
yeah, and now it's like fucking on, and it's retarded. It feels great.
Oh yeah. Well, I think what you're demonstrating is there's a certain percentage of success. The vast majority of success is just about showing up.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just putting in the volume, showing up every day, and then you get those random opportunities. If you were not there, then that woman could not have said that to you, and you might not have the opportunity in the future. Right? You're just increasing your red ping pong balls in the bucket. That's all you're doing. And eventually
You just never
that thing
know. And I'm in a club. I was in a club that people constantly shit on because of like the cliquey politics or whatever, and you might have to wait until after midnight to go on. But someone is fucking watching. Someone, so I find that a lot of the advice I'm getting from people that are gatekeepers in this city are, and it's hard to initially realize that person is just just a stepping stone.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. No, dude. Well, so much respect for you, brother. I mean, you're doing exactly what you should.
And a lot of credit, and goes to being able to come on here and talk with you guys, people who have their a good head on their shoulders, and talking with a lot of these dudes in here, like T-Bag and Ray especially, and Ryan, he's super supportive, and Gunther and all these dudes, they're all super supportive and fucking it's great. It's a great community that you guys have started.
Hell yeah, man. And we are just getting started, and it's we all need a team, right? Like a lot of stuff that you're saying, I've been doing my career now for almost 19 years, and I just got off a phone call yesterday where I'm looking for mentorship, asking questions of people who are doing way better than I am, right? There is no limit, right? And I hope that's the case. There's never going to be an end to the thing. So if there are any versions of shortcuts, even though I don't like that word, if there are any versions of shortcuts, it's speaking to people who have already done it better than you, or at a higher level than you, or longer than you, and then they tell you, hey, don't do that, don't do and do this. Like just like Matt was telling you, hey, dude, don't worry about any of that stuff. Just focus on these things. Right?
We become a sum of the people we surround ourselves with.
100%.
And I'm trying to change that dynamic. I have a lot of people that in my life that just directionless, and I can only say so much. People have to do.
Yes.
And you also don't want to be that guy that's just constantly like preaching.
100%. Yeah. Well, the cool thing is the majority of your preaching can come through the optics of your action.
Yeah.
Right. Like eventually they'll start saying like, oh, like, where's Jim? Right. Where's DJ at? Oh, he's at the club again and again and again and again. And eventually it's like, oh shit, like he's actually putting in the effort. And then maybe one of your inner circle says like, you know what? I'm going to work overtime today. Right. Like, they start to replicate it.
Yeah. It's, my buddy just got his first book show. So it's like, we're my best friend. We're moving up together. We're on the path, and it's great.
Hell yeah.
It's unreal.
You say he just got his first bookshelf?
Yeah, he got his first book show. He opened for Tony Woods. It was great.
Oh, got his book show. Got it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome, dude. Well, DJ, dude, super fucking awesome having you on.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure to fight by your side, buddy.
Yeah, man. It's, always a pleasure. I appreciate you guys. I love hearing from, you people. So.
Hell yeah, man. Keep it up, brother. Keep us filled in on the progress.
Hell yeah, man.
Later, bud. Dude, he crushes it all the time. Like every single time we talk to him. And the cool thing is he tells us about the highs and he tells us about the lows. But every single time we talk to him, regardless of whether or not it's a struggle or it's him highlighting a win, there's always some sort of progress. And I fucking love it. Ray, I'm inviting you on the screen right now, brother. And I can't read all the comments, but I think Jordan's having a tough day, it seems like. Let's see. Jordan, are you able to come on, bro? Mr. Ray, what's up, dude?
What's up? The Shaman's on, too. He's under the Shane moniker.
Oh, he is?
I want to show the dogs that dreams do come true. You're looking at Wes's 2001 Lexus LS. I wish I could have called in from Zion National Park, which is where I've been for the last 2 hours. But making my cross country journey from Los Angeles to Toronto.
So wild, man.
Wes, it's the greatest. It's the greatest, dude.
Hell yeah, man. I'm super
My wife
pumped that
just
you were
texted
happy.
me. My wife just texted me. She's like, I haven't been able to get through to you for 12 hours. I was like, yes, I slept so soundly.
How was Zion?
Outstanding, dude. Just like, you can't tell me that God doesn't exist after being at a place like that. Just like mountains springing from the like riverbeds overnight, sculpted by the gods, like painted by the gods. It's just magic, man.
And
It's just
real
magic.
Quick, did you say Matt is on under Shane's
I mean,
username?
it's apparently. I mean, I'm not sure. Like, maybe we just don't bring him on just in case it's a scam.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, bring him on. Bring him on.
So, Matt, are you under Shane's username right now? So
you know he can't speak back to you. Yeah, so you're just gonna have to.
Oh, hold on. He's actually
just
calling
click.
me. Hey, bud. Oh, cool. Did you want to come on, or you just want to observe? All right, cool. All right, one sec. He just confirmed.
And before
we did dual authentication.
Oh, check this out, dude. Check this out. A skeleton. Look, it's like a spine. Can you see that?
Nice.
Should I bring that home?
You should absolutely not bring that home, and you should also have not absolutely touched that.
Come on, Wes. It's going in your Lexus, buddy. One thing I just want to say is has DJ been offered a job at a bank? Is that what's up?
Yeah. He not
that
only
is
was offered,
amazing.
He signed up. He got it.
That's amazing. And you know, like, I just wanted to say that we've been working on this project, Wes, with you for a year almost, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
And it just goes to show, like, people like me and DJ have gains right away as soon as we just commit to it. But then the gains just become bigger and bigger, and just like sky is the limit if you practice strong daily micro habits. That's my experience.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's what we were just talking about with DJ. If you do that, you create your own foundation. You bring a lot of order to life, and then you can. What do they say? Like, most people are not operating from a firm foundation, so it's kind of like shooting a cannon from a canoe. You know, you don't have a concrete floor to stand on, so you can't throw the proper punches. But once you do, and that is done primarily through work effort, you know, I fall back on it consistently. You know, I wasn't able to get my large macro goals done for the day, but I got my micro habits done for the day. That gives me some sense of earning my satisfaction.
Word.
Oh yeah.
Where are you today, Matt? Nope.
Oh, nice. Dude, just buzzing around. I had to get some shit done. That if I'd waited, I wouldn't have had time, because my days have been kind of like packed with like figuring out like school stuff from my end. We have to do like virtual tours and all this other shit.
Word.
So yeah, I wanted to get this done earlier. But yeah, dude, I mean, I heard you were talking. I heard DJ, and again, that's that seems to be the universal equivalent to everything. It's like you put in the period of work. You're not seeing exactly you're not getting the immediate benefits you might want, but like Wes is saying, you're just building a foundation so you can like effectively do the thing that you want to do.
Yeah,
totally agree.
Yeah, and there's a pattern. A lot of people think that it's sort of a linear progression pattern. Like, oh, if I go and I do this 3 times, then I'll get 1 unit of success. The problem is that actually most things don't work like that. It's more of like a hockey stick chart, or if you think there's like things in nature that are like this, like I heard this in Atomic Habits book. Water does not freeze. It's just water up until 32 degrees, right? But everything prior to that, you got no result.
Yeah.
Right. Does that make sense? Like, there's 0 result until 32 degrees exactly. Right. So that's the interesting part about it. And a lot of success is just like that. There's no result. And that's when you want to stop. And then you hit 32 degrees. Right. Very, very interesting pattern.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And dude, again, it's like the thing that I can't stress enough is you do all this. A lot of this stuff. You know, if this isn't the case, let me know. But I feel like a lot of this, you trying to like justify your own existence. You're trying to like prove that like you're legitimate or you're good in whatever field you're in. It's like, I got to be recognized, like I'm a real, like I really deserve this, and blah 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 blah. And it's like it almost seems like it'll never happen, and it almost like it eventually just does. And the only way I can explain it is like you just work at it, like you were saying, Wes, for so fucking long that it almost just feels ridiculous altogether. Where you're like, all the things you're worried about, you're like, I genuinely don't care. Like, I want to do a good job, but like those little fears of like, am I coming across this way? Like, do I deserve to get paid to do this? Eventually it just becomes laughable. Where you're like, I'm not worried about that. I'm getting paid for this. Here's what I'm doing. And it's like, it's something you just arrive at, in my opinion. Maybe people can, bypass this from like an innate sense of self-confidence, but it's like, in my opinion, you just do something for so long, put so much work into it, you just get better at it naturally. And then it gets to the point where you're like, you eventually get decent feedback and you go, okay, like, damn, that took a long time, but that's just how it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
yeah. The
absolutely.
cliche, trust the process comes to mind. If you have a strong program, that is your compass.
Yeah, man. And it's also, the other thing too is like, again, if you apply that to like, the overwhelming majority of jobs, it's like, yeah, 100%. Like when I hear DJ talking about stand-up, it's like one of the most hair-raising things about something like that is like, that's one of the few jobs where, like, if you work for an insurance company and put in like an iota of effort and consciousness into it, you'll most likely do pretty well. Stand-up's weird because it's like, once you come to grips with the like a ridiculously ferocious competitiveness of it, and the like, the reality of the fact that most people who do it don't get paid to do it for a very, very long time, if ever, or for a very short time and then never again, whatever. It's like, but if you can make peace with that and just do it because you like it, then it's a whole different ballgame, and it becomes a lot easier and more enjoyable. So,
Yeah.
And I think, how was your show on the 22nd? Did you get butterflies?
Yeah.
And yeah, just like your first show, like
it went great. It was again, it's not even like, I wouldn't even call it butterflies. You just start to question yourself, like, can I really do this? Can I do like, I know how to feature, obviously I can do 25 minutes, and it's like, yeah, but can you do an hour? Can you be the guy who does an hour? And it was, you do play all these games with yourself, and I've gotten good at being like, well, let's just go out there and see. You go out there and see, oh yeah, that was a piece of cake. So it's like, here's all that worrying, and me just, and I've gotten good at not worrying so much like that and being like, this is going to be what it is. So, but yeah, to tell you the truth, yeah, I got like a couple days before, I was nervous. Like, I hope this doesn't go bad. I would say with meditation, that period of like worrying has been reduced to like, from like an unbearable anxiety to like a barely noticeable kind of like fog of negative thoughts. But yeah, dude, it went well. And it was like, oh, cool. And here's the thing I can do now, as I was always kind of kicking around, like, how do I increase my financial goals? It's like, well, there you go. I can go make money doing that, here and there. Nothing crazy, but it's like there's an extra line of income waiting for me. And it was like genuinely enjoyable. So, well.
Matt, does the head trash ever stop? Like, I hear that you say that it can be reduced, but has it ever stopped for you?
No, definitely not. Like I that was the most confident I've been going into a thing that like life. And if you haven't confronted these, I highly recommend you confront these. Like, take a thing you're like terrified of and do it. But like, I've gone through so many of those, like, oh my God, like I can't, there's no way I can. I've come out on the other end of so many of those things that like, this was another one. Oh boy, this is different now, blah, blah, blah. But to answer your question, it's like, no, it doesn't stop. It's just, it doesn't affect me as much, I would say. Like, I just kind of go like, well, I know I just always check in. I know why I'm trying to do this. I have my reasons for doing this. I like all my reasons for doing this. I think and the big thing that would fuck me up is I wouldn't put in like as much work as I should have. And that's when I'd get nervous. Now that I like have systematized my approach, I write down all my stuff. I like discipline myself to write down my material to actually memorize it. Like, I do that now, and I hate doing that, but it's like, it's part of my job, and I make sure I do it. And that alleviates 80% of the anxiety. So to answer your question, no, the head trash doesn't stop. But if I have done my work and I know I've done all my work, it reduces it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. I think for anybody out there who is trying to think that there's some magical unicorn point where the head trash stops, I have never found it. Matt has never found it. Anybody who I've talked to has never found it. Seems like it's always going to be there. Joe Rogan, he's even talked about it as well. Like there's always that voice in the back of all of our heads, regardless of how high we've climbed in our particular career. I can tell you, I have literally done. I've got a few finance, kind of general classes that I teach. There's one class that I teach. I have literally taught hundreds of hundreds of. It's an hour and a half class. I have taught it probably 300 times now, and still, I walk in. I'm like, I'm not sure if I know this as much as I should. And it's the same material, an hour and a half, 300 times, literally still. So yeah, there's no time where the head trash does not exist. We're humans. That's how it works.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, if you think about it too, it's like it's a skill. We talked about this on Monday of like kind of the invisible aspects of job descriptions nobody talks about. And it's like, dude, being able just to deal with, to transcend your own head trash and still perform is a skill that like maybe 10% of the population has, or even works on. So it's like, I mean, everyone confronts it every day but there's certain things like, dude, public speaking, that's a stark dividing line. Not everyone will, like the majority of people will just say, nope, never, we'll never do it. And that's just that. So it's like, there's different gradients of that in every sort of endeavor. Like, well, what about like that? What about this? What about like writing a company newsletter, whatever the fuck it is? It's like, there's shit people just are afraid to do. And we go, nope. And that bowing down to that little mini Wizard of Oz in your head will keep people exactly where they are, and it sucks for a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, and then speaking of, of staying on the grind and putting in the hours that DJ was talking about earlier, Ray, tell us about your trip, because you talked about this trip a few weeks ago and now you actually did. So can you give the guys some background and how to go?
Yeah. It's outstanding, gentlemen. I had the biggest art transaction of my career so far. It's a painting for 150,000 USD in LA. And thank you. And the plan was to buy Wes's old car, go down there, inspect the painting, make sure it's legit, and then throw it in the trunk and drive back. Nice. And the painting did not fit in the trunk. But
did you pull the seat
no
down?
Reason to toss that. I didn't even try, dude. This thing was massive because the painting's framed, so it's actually way bigger than I thought. And but one little detail going awry is no reason to throw out a great plan. So I brought the painting to DHL to ship it up to Toronto, and I hit the road last night. Drove through California, Nevada, the top corner of Arizona, spent the night in Utah, just outside Zion National Park. You ever been here, Matt?
No, I've never been there.
Oh, man. Powerful place, dude. Your chakras would all be fucking tingling. A place like this.
I do not doubt that at all.
It's wild. And
Utah in general is gorgeous.
Yeah, but I couldn't call in from the park because there's no cell phone service. But I'm just outside the park in this kind of like amazing mythical landscape, land of giants. And I just found like a skeleton of something. I don't know what. Just
pretty
before
awesome.
You got on the.
Did the painting get there yet? Like, what's up with the?
Yeah, the painting's in transit. It's just like so the deal is not in peril at all. It's just it's not a art deal plus road trip together. It's an art deal and a separate road trip. That's the only difference. So the painting will be shipped to Toronto as normal, and all of this is because of my hard work on my program, which you and Wes have developed. So, if I survive this trip in Wes's literally 20-year-old car, 20-year-old and 2-month car, I want to thank you guys.
Hell yeah, man. $150,000 painting transaction. That's enormous, dude. When you started out in this endeavor, did you think you would have been there that quickly?
Hell no, man. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a dime. My wife was like, put on a apron, go get a waiter job, or like get a job where you come home stinking of fries. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, I've got a bachelor degree, I've got a law degree, I've got a master's degree. I've been working in the art business for 10 years, so it was worth my time to just wait a little longer to try and get that job of my dreams. And I've had every crummy job you can imagine.
Absolutely,
I've been a janitor, I've been a bartender, I've been a busboy, I've been dishwasher was actually my favorite of them all.
Yeah.
There was something so zen about just the process. But
that big ass fucking hose they give you so much better than the house.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and it like you close the dishwasher and the cycle starts immediately. There's no buttons.
Yeah, well,
I never know if it's on or if it's off in my dishwasher at home.
Well, going back to what you're saying too about like, she was like basically like go get a job that you felt was that wouldn't utilize all of your own gifts and idiosyncrasies stuff. And it's like when you say like working on a fryer, it's like there's nothing inherently wrong with working on a fryer. It's just when you're working on a fryer and you feel as if you have more to offer the world than modern or hot oil. It's not like a slam.
No, a chef would be perfectly suited to that job because he's spiritually fulfilled by that work.
Exactly. So it's like it's not a slam. It's just that happens. Like it's not negative to point out. Like sometimes you do a thing that is, not fully encompassing all of your skills. It's not going to like unfold yourself. If I stood over a fryer until I died, I'd still have a life and I'd do stuff, but there'd be a humongous part of me that wouldn't have blossomed if I didn't say, fuck this, I want to do something else. I would encourage people to notice that.
Yeah, Matt, and I think you're just cutting out. I think you're hitting in a weird spot.
I heard like a fart sound, and then he went mute. But I think, and that's not to say like I wasn't telling my wife like I'm better than working as a fryer. Like 3 years ago, I started my first proper retail job in the art world, and I think I've told this story before. I was like my colleagues at this job were 22 years old. I was like 1 or 2 years shy of double their age.
Right.
Which is bad when you're dating, and it's bad when you're working. And but I went back to that like first entry level retail job because it was in the target profession, target profession, right?
Yep. I love it, man. No, it's exactly right. I remember when I graduated with a girl, and she was an engineer, and she was very, very intelligent, but she wanted to open up a restaurant. And so what she did was she graduated, which her degree cost, almost $200,000. And then everybody else went to their big fancy jobs, and she went to work for Chipotle. And I remember like I just super, super respected the hell out of it because she wanted to learn the operations of quick service restaurants. In our school, it was very much like oriented to like you're going to get the best job graduating from college because you've done all these internships, blah blah blah. And then she went to work for Chipotle. So it's not like she didn't have any pride or ego about it. It's like no, well, this.
Where is she now, Wes?
I actually don't know. I haven't talked to her in years, but I would assume.
Look her up on LinkedIn. That would be fascinating.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. But the whole point is like you did what you had to do, right? You did the logical thing. This is the area that I want to go into, so I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. And that's exactly.
Well, do you want to tell the dogs? Do you want to tell the dogs what you told me about your first job on Wall Street and how far away you live from the office?
Oh yeah, sure. So I think one of the things I told Ray was I don't consider myself to have any special talents, to be any smarter than anybody else. I think the one thing that does come to mind, I heard somebody else say this, is I will just sacrifice more than other people. I think that if I had to pick any unique ability that I have, like it's that. Like I'm just willing to out-sacrifice, or at least take a lot of sacrifice. So anyway, an example of that would just be when I got the job on Wall Street, I could stay in Philly and save an enormous amount on rent, or I could move to New York and have the whole lifestyle and all that stuff. And so anyway, long story short, I just commuted from Philly. So it's about 2.5 hour commute each way, cost me, I think at the time it was like $20 a day, maybe $40.
Every morning
Yeah.
and every night.
Yeah. So now the funny thing is, like, for sacrifices, that might sound like a big sacrifice to somebody, but the funny thing is, man, America, if you ever read Ben Franklin's book, there's a few books written about him.
Autobiography.
Yeah, and there's several other books. There's a bunch of books. I've read almost all of them. Dude, the amount of sacrifices that men had to make generations ago, like,
This
those
is
are
nothing.
sacrifices. Right?
Riding a
Those are
bus would have been considered a luxury, not a sacrifice.
Exactly. Right. So like riding a bus with air conditioning and heat and an internet connection, and that the seat can recline, like, is that a sacrifice?
Yeah.
I don't really think so. It's a cool
Hard.
story, but I think that's what I was telling DJ earlier, right? Like, he gets to work at PNC Bank. He doesn't have to work at PNC Bank. He gets to work at PNC Bank to give him the resources to then go and do what he loves. And that's not to take away from what he's doing, but it's if we can switch the mindset sometimes. So like, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. This is my choice. The reason I'm here is because it's what I asked for. Then it makes it more sustainable. Right? I could have done that commute to New York, for another 5 years if it was congruent with my North Star goal. It became incongruent, but that's why I'm not doing it anymore. So anyway, I think sacrifice, yes, I think it's necessary, but also I think there's a way to massively take off the edge of that word sacrifice if you put it in the proper perspective.
Word.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Well,
Dude,
all right, dudes.
Also, the one thing. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, now
Yeah,
we
go
can.
for it.
Before we couldn't. When the last
Hey,
10
sorry.
seconds.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Yeah. Someone fucking texted me. Yeah. The one thing again that like becomes more and more apparent to me that I just want to stress is like, it's if you don't like it, just having it some form of daily system where you're like actually, like you've said it 1,000 times, Wes, it took forever to sink into my head, of like where you're actually monitoring your progress in any given area. Like if you're not actively monitoring your progress by like checking little, setting a goal, checking little tasks off, and like keeping yourself to that on a daily, on a daily routine or 5 days a week, whatever it is, it's chances are you're kind of largely daydreaming. Is that fair to say?
100%.
Microhabits.
Yeah, man.
Right?
It's like that. It's a simple thing. It's tough. It was, again, I'm saying this as someone who was like, very difficult to wrangle in terms of like discipline and all this other stuff. Once I finally was able to do that, dude, it makes like a humongous difference. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dude.
Dude,
that's what I'm always stressing, dude. It's like, please, for the love of God, set a little, just anything. I'm gonna do this. Okay, cool. What does it entail? Make a little list every morning. Make that the first.
For the love of God.
Please do it. I'm telling you, I've wasted so much time not doing that shit. It drives me nuts.
well, and it happens even at a daily level. Literally just happened to me yesterday, because for the last actually a long while, but definitely the last few weeks, I've just been doing, trying to like not put out fires, but trying to just, what do they say? Life is about juggling as many balls as possible, and then figuring out which balls are rubber and which balls are glass. And I could tell you that yesterday I committed, it's like, I'm going to write down everything that I get done as I do it. And then all of a sudden it's a list of 30 things long. But the prior day, I felt like I wasn't getting anything done, but I was doing the same exact thing. But I wasn't writing down, that I called this guy, that I finished this project, boom, 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 boom. So yeah, you have to do it. Your brain will not automatically tally your wins. You have to intellectually and like physically write down your wins. It has to be done. It'll make you feel 10 times better throughout the day.
Absolutely.
And this is the same reason you write down your to-do list, your objectives, right?
100%.
It's basically the same thing.
100%. Like most days, of course.
Yeah, every single morning. If I don't do it, yeah, absolutely.
If you don't do it, what, Matt?
All right, brother. No, I was saying if my phone went out, I didn't hear for a second. But yeah, dude, like as soon as I hit a period, because again, I work for myself, so it's like I can easily slide off into doing nothing. But as soon as I feel like, what am I doing? That used to be like a 6-hour feeling. And now I go, what am I doing? Let me pull up my thing. Oh, I got these 2 things left to do. Let me bang them out, and then I can, do whatever I want. Really.
Yep.
So yeah, dude, absolutely.
100%. All right, I'm going to put up dude of the week. So what do I do, Matt, here? I create a poll, it seems like.
Yep.
All right, first one we got to put up DJ. Elko Jim.
Yeah, also, let me know, too. If anyone has 4, let me know.
Ray
I
has,
have 4,
think,
Matt.
35.
Your shirt's in the mail, dude. Your shirt's, I sent it with
There's no
DHL.
way the shirt's in the mail, Matt. There's no way. There's no way, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, I have an international order bin. I have like 5 shirts in there. They're all going out. It's on DHL.
It's top
dude.
of top of your priority list, right, Matt?
It's coming. It's coming.
So I've got Delco Jim for the awesome progress he's making in comedy and sacrifice. I'm gonna throw. I think MFG said he had his first progress. I kind of glanced over the first podcast, I believe.
Yep.
So I'm going to put him up there for the podcast. And then who else? Anybody? I want to recommend anybody else. Troy says Ray, but Ray refuses. Ray, you know what? Fuck you. I'm putting you up here.
I'm already on Mount Olympus, boys. I'm already at the top.
All right. Well, everybody says Ray for the $150,000 painting.
No. DJ gets it. DJ. I did work at a bank, actually. I worked at a bank on the Guinness family's private holdings. So it was fun as hell.
All right, let's see.
Summer job in Boston. But this one goes to DJ. And Troy, for nominating me, I'm going to come to Chicago and kick your ass. I should be there in about 2 days, okay?
And Matt, when you normally do this, are you able to vote? Because I'm not finding I'm able to vote.
No, it doesn't let you vote.
Okay, got it. All right, so Delco Jim is in the lead. MFG, Ray, because he's being a jerk and won't let anybody vote for him. 3.
Okay, I'll vote for myself.
3, 2, 1. DJ, great freaking job, brother. As always, outstanding progress. DJ, dude of the week.
And also,
Jimmy
DJ,
Landslide.
let me know, that might be your fourth, bro. It's definitely your third, if not fourth. So.
Oh yeah, I think he's up there.
If I see DJ in a triple XL dude of the month t-shirt, I swear to God, I'm gonna hit the fucking roof.
Takes forever to ship to Canada, bro. Canadian government's messed up.
Well, I can't wait till. So Ray, when you receive it, will you promise to try to do a full day of art sales in that shirt?
Well, do I have to? I don't know if can I close a deal. Like, do I have to close a deal with it on?
No. You just got to try.
Or just sunrise to sundown. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
That
Absolutely.
works. All right, dudes.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray. Be safe driving back, brother.
Thanks, Wes.
I'll keep you posted.
All right, later, brothers.
Congrats, Wes. Congrats, Matt, on the great show.
Oh yeah, later, dudes.